Is up, RotoGrinders? Welcome to Friday. It's a film Friday. 2 hours of nonstop MLB DFS conversation starts right now, taking you all the way up to first pitch, all the way up to lock. We yield to crunch time around 6:15 or so. Chief meteorologist Kevin Roth. You got some beer and cheese. Myself and one of the greatest DFS players in all of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada, TJ Zwarich. Also, producer extraordinaire. He's multitasking today. We got you for the first hour and 15 minutes or so. TJ, happy Friday. How are things?
Doing very well. Happy to dive into this slate with you. Just finishing up a best ball draft as we speak.
Okay.
Looking forward to diving into this slate. It's a fun one.
I have not drafted in the last day or two, and the more news is obviously sprinkling on through. How crazy are the streets with Robinson, that was, of course, I guess he's the San Fran backup, or possibly not the backup, but the third running back getting traded to San Fran. Other speculation, did Thielen officially get traded to Minnesota? I think that seems to be the likelihood. Either it's happened or it's going to happen. So maybe like a Coker looks a little bit better as like a last round flyer for Carolina. The Washington running back, Bob, is it Bob? No, it's Bill. Bill, of course, which is his nickname because I guess he looked like a character from a cartoon when he was a kid, from a Cosby cartoon, I believe. I can't think of the guy's name for some reason. He's got a hyphenated name, and everybody's hyping him up. Kind of a flyer, but has worked his way up the boards a ton. But anything in the best ball streets that's been kind of wild in the last day or two, or today specifically, what have you noticed?
Nothing overly wild, I don't think. I have a few guys that I'm trying to go significantly overweight on the field that I'm trying to target a whole bunch, but nothing overly crazy that's been happening to me other than this Washington rookie getting drafted super early now.
Yeah, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. There you go, otherwise known as Bill.
I'm light on Bill, and I'm drafting a lot of Eckler and Rodriguez.
As am I. I don't have a lot of him, so I'm hoping it's not a thing. And I'm already late on it anyway, so, if he happens to get there, I'm probably in trouble. So I don't think I'm going to pick much unless he's going around 100 or so, last I saw, give or take. But again, I've not drafted in the last couple days. But this weekend, for sure, I'll be in the streets. Some of the sites out there, not sponsored, but I know Drafter is one of the places that are giving you one free entry for every 5 you enter, up to 2 times. I know DK had it last week. I would say Underdog. They're giving some specials out there. So look around for things like that. Of course, you can click the banner if you're not for whatever reason not signed up for Drafters or Underdog or any of these sites. Check out the links for deposit bonus here at RG. Do you want to say what's up to the chat? Hey, chat, hit that like button, do subscribe, turn on those notifications, do all those things. Help us keep the lights on. I'm dropping today's weather report in chat, and it's uneventful. Chief meteorologist Kevin Roth will be on in about an hour and change. As of right now, nothing really to talk about that I'm seeing. It's very short and sweet. It's yellow in Atlanta. A lot of times it's yellow in Atlanta, the potential pop-ups. But, nothing really to be scared about there. Yellow, green in Tampa. 13 games, TJ. 13 games. So you figure, oh, man, we're going to have a lot. You're going to have a lot of good pitching and a lot of good hitting. And I'm curious to get your thoughts. I argue we have neither. I'm going to be making lineups. I think we have one team that did creep over the 5 total. That's kind of like the, is this team considered to be well-positioned to score a bunch of runs? 5. 5's kind of the number for me. Anything over 5, we're supposed to get excited to some degree. Tampa's close against Miles Michaelis. One of the better hitting environments. If not the best hitting environment on the slate there in St. Pete. The Cubs locked in for 5. They're the other one. 9 innings versus Tyler Anderson in that bullpen on the road. And then pitching, we'll talk about it. And you said today's a good day to play the feud, so we'll play the feud. And you're kind of setting me up for failure when you say that, because I know you probably are taking some stands. I think it's a good day to take some stands. It's not something I do. I don't play 150, but you can speak to this better than I can. It seems like a really good day to play 150 because it really is super wide open. I don't know if there's anything chalk, like hitting wise. Is there chalk? How do you define chalk on a 13 gamer? Just play the hitters you like. If anything happens to be chalky, I would get away from it. as far as the hitters and even pitching. I don't think there's any must-haves. There's not anybody like, I have to roster this guy because there's a good chance he strikes out 10. I mean, somebody will possibly, maybe, strike out 10, but it's really hard to pinpoint. I'm curious to get your overview before we kind of dive in and talk about, I guess, your pitching pool. We will play the feud, and I'll probably get 3 X's because the game's rigged, just like the wheel.
Yeah, we'll dive in here shortly. Of course, nothing really else in the big overview that I feel like I gotta dive into. But I will say that every 50 likes, we got some Spidey bombs coming. So keep hitting that like button. And yeah, it's an exciting day. We got the feud, we got the film Friday. It's a great day to have.
Oh, we should go ahead and drop that first clue. Yeah, you did mention it. We want to give the people a chance to get a week free of RG Premium. Just be the first person to tell me what film I am talking about in the Discord channel. RotoGrinders.com/Discord live stream chat channel. That Discord channel is free. Most of our Discord channels are free. And the first clue for Film Friday, TJ, it is New York. New York is clue number 1. Get in that Discord channel and tell me what film. I was going to say movie, but that's only for Mondays. This is films. We're talking cinema. Film I'm discussing here with these 5 clues. We'll drop another clue about 10, 15 minutes or so, give or take. Surely we'll have a winner before crunch time comes in. Give me the overview, man. And if I don't know if your overview is going to give away, you probably have a plan of attack when it comes to the pitchers, because I think it's like, I don't want to say 3-headed monster. Yeah, I guess you can say that, right? With Wu, Eovaldi, up top as far as ownership. And Fried is there as well. Fried's been scuffling of late. It's not been good. Home matchup here versus Boston. Theoretically, historically, Fried's been one of the more reliable pitchers. Really gets his face punched in. Does a great job keeping the ball on the ground. Keeps the ball in the park. It's just not been great for him of late. Eovaldi is having a career renaissance and an incredible season. He did get beat up a couple starts ago, but kind of righted the ship. And taking on a Cleveland team we're not especially scared of. I mean, they're worse versus lefties, but still not great versus righties. And then Wu has the benefit of facing an Athletics team that, yes, they have some power, but also they have the biggest negative ballpark shift, I would say, on the slate. Jumping from Sacramento to Seattle, pretty good K rate, throws strikes, good Sierra. There is some power there, but, theoretically, the ballpark will subdue the power for the Athletics, and maybe they only get 1 homer. And then the cheapie, I guess, is Zebby Matthews. And I probably should acknowledge the existence. It's a tough roster, and I'm curious to get your thoughts on it. We are getting Blake Snell. Like, he's probably the guy that can strike out 10. He can also walk 10 if they let him do that long enough. I probably should include him as far as skill in that top 3, but the matchup isn't great for him tonight against San Diego. That's kind of my overview. And then the one cheapie, like the one salary saver, is always Zebby Matthews. He's always like the clear SB2. He labors. He tends to not be efficient, so he tends to not stick around very long, but he's also really, really good with strikeouts. And he's taken on the White Sox, and it's all kind of baked into the price. So that's the way I see it. And, of course, there's more to discuss, but I should say I don't love any of those guys. I think they're all sort of fine. I think Wu's fine, and Fried's fine, and Eovaldi's fine, and I guess Zebby's fine. And I sort of want to stick there because I think it falls off. We got the Biebs. Shout out to Shane Bieber making his debut this season. He did throw 90 pitches his last start, so I guess he's mostly stretched out. He's taking on the Marlins, so he's kind of somewhat interesting. And ownership is reflecting that, 16% currently on DK. But I've talked a lot. TJ, your review as far as the slate, and if you want to jump to pitchers, by all means, go for it.
I hate to start on a note that's going to be upsetting for you, but we do have a one and done binker in the Discord chat for Film Friday already.
You got to be kidding me. No. How's that possible? That's ridiculous. I'm so upset.
Dunk 101 already with the win on Clue 1.
How? That's ridiculous. This game is rigged. I created the game, and I'm saying the game is rigged. Unbelievable. That is not that. Now I'm going to be upset. I'm going to be tilted the rest of the show. That's it. I'm going to be upset. I'm going to be an angry man the rest of the show for sure. But I'm not happy about this. But by all means, I need a second to compose myself. Filibuster for me.
Yeah, no problem at all. In terms of the overview away, I won't give too much away in terms of what I'm doing with my feud pool today. I will say I'm making the 3-headed monster a 2-headed monster in my 150 lineup. So that's the one hint I'll give as of right now. I don't have my first build yet of 150 lineup, so I don't know exact exposures, but my preliminary plan is to have 9 players in my pool. That could shrink as the day goes, as the show goes. I don't think it'll get bigger though. So it might get smaller as we talk through it. I don't think it's going to get any bigger. These are like the 9 guys that I may potentially have in the pool, and that's kind of like the max. In terms of stacks today, I'm with you that there's a few that I like, but certainly none that I love. I'm not going out of my way to take any certain really big stands, but I am any team that's kind of on the I don't know if I should include them or not. They're getting the X. I'm just doing what I can to eliminate as many of these stacks as I can.
All right. I guess we'll play the feud here in a second. They're clamoring, by the way, in the live stream chat if we can come up with another film on the fly. I don't know if I can do that. I feel like I'd like to, but I feel like I wouldn't be paying attention to TJ for 5 minutes at least. Yeah, I should have one of these on the ready, but I feel like I should probably have a separate game. Let's see. Maybe I'll try to think of something. I don't know. Unless TJ, I'm assuming you don't have anything on layaway. I don't have anything for the people, but maybe we'll come up with something that you're on the fly. Because
if I give you the movie, do you think you'll be able to help whip up clues on the fly?
Sure. Yeah. Maybe we'll put it together. There you go. We'll do it together. Okay. DM me.
Here's the thing. We are only giving away a second week of RotoGrinders Premium if we're over 100 likes before the Crunch Time crew gets here. If we're not over 100 likes before the Crunch Time crew gets here, this is strictly for fun. If we get over 100 likes on YouTube, if you're hitting that like button, you want the Spidey Bombs, you want the free week, then we can give away the second week. I do not have the authority, I do not have the power to do that, but I am confident enough that it'll be okay. And if it's not, I will take the punishment for the people.
All right, so send me a DM here, TJ. We'll get it in the works here. Send me a DM and we'll figure out another film on the fly. We'll come up with some clues together. Okay, and if you're game theoring it, TJ's probably gonna name a movie to me that I've heard of so I can help. So he's probably not going to be in the Marvel world, but maybe he will. I don't know. Maybe he's just throwing a curveball to the people. But yeah, we'll figure out something here on the fly. All right. Not 9
pitchers in the pool. I did just message Steve to confirm that we are allowed to do the second one. But so Dunk 101, you got the winner. You got the win. So let me know in Discord if you want scores and odds or RotoGrinders Premium. And we got the second one going. I did just send it to you, Dean. But yes, confirmation. We got 9 guys in the pool right now. I agree with Philly later in the Discord chat. If we're giving away a second week, we should need 150 likes. So we're gonna split the difference and say 125. 125 is what we need for that second week free.
So I'm going to go ahead and throw some names your way. I'm curious, your overall strategy on this slate, because again, you're running 150, I assume. Yeah, you're running 150. You're maxing out.
Yes, I am 150 maxing out.
So I'm curious if you, again, the projections aren't amazing for Fried and Wu and Eovaldi and Snell, but those are the guys that have the best chance, I suppose. To put up I don't want to say slate winning score. I don't really know if anybody can do that. Maybe Snell can if you catch him on the right night, but it's a tough matchup there with San Diego. I think you're going to, so now I wonder if you're going to be bold enough to just X some of those guys out, because I don't think it's not that much of a difference. There's not a ton of bats I necessarily feel like I have to get up to, but that's, if you say, well, maybe I'm going to pay up for a bunch of Ohtani. We're assuming Ohtani's back tonight, by the way. No lineup just yet, but that's the presumption. They said Friday he should be good to go. I'm going to pay up for Judge, which I don't know if I'm doing that personally. Me, my lineups, I don't think I'm going to have the salary for that. And not besmirching it, just with the world of the salary cap, but I'm not sure if I'm going to get there. I am kind of prioritizing the good pitchers, and because I think there's enough cheap stuff out there where you're not really hurting the rest of your lineup too much as far as the hitters. So I guess I want to know, you don't want to give me it here. Are you having any sort of wonky strategy? I don't know if wonky is the right word, but bold strategy of just saying, like, no thanks to some of these expensive guys, Woo, Fried, Eovaldi, and
that was the one hint
Snell.
I gave was I'm turning the 3-headed monster, as you referred to it, as a 2-headed monster.
Okay. So I'm going to say, I'll just say this. I think that if you're going to pick one of those that don't get in the pool amongst Woo, Fried, and Eovaldi, for me, and I can't believe I'm saying this because I love this guy, but I just don't like what I've been seeing of late against, just his last several outings. I know there's been some BABIP stuff there as well, but I watched a couple of them and he was getting beat up. I feel the worst amongst those three about Max Fried. So I think Fried's not in your pool, and you like Boston. You're going to be playing Boston bats.
I'm not necessarily playing Boston bats. It's a 13-game slate, but I'm going to be playing. I'm going to be playing 0% Max Fried. I hit the X button on him. You nailed that. Even if on a 13-game slate, even if he was 100, like, there are no issues, and he's just like, he's been coasting. He's been great. Even if that were the scenario, I still don't think Max Fried at that price should be 30% owned on DraftKings on this slate. Where he's cheaper on FanDuel, I totally get it. He's in a good spot. It's a great matchup against Boston. Boston strikes out a ton against right-handed or against left-handed pitchers, and he's cheaper on FanDuel, so I'm good with it there. But at 30% owned on DraftKings, I'm not playing any Fried today. Not playing any Boston either because I don't think he's broken by any means, and it's a big slate, so I just don't think I need to. But no Fried for me today.
Yeah. So I guess we can just go ahead and figure out and say Eovaldi and Woo are both in your pool. Do you have a preference amongst those two?
As it stands,
Close, right?
I think just because he's coming out at a little lower owned, it's Eovaldi is my preference. But yeah, you got ding and ding on the first two. Eovaldi and Woo will definitely both be in my pool.
All right. So continuing, and I think you just have to play some Snell. I think you have. I mean, I just think that it would be. Look, I'm not going to. You're an adult. You can make your own decisions. But if you're running 150, I think you just have to put some Snell in your pool just in case he runs into that, elite ceiling game. I don't care what he's one of those guys where he's not necessarily pitching against the opponent. He's pitching against himself, and any given night, no matter who it is, all-star lineup, he can mow him down when everything is working for him. So I think you have to have Snell in there, and we're looking at 11% currently as far as ownership. I would get over that. That's just me. Snell's in your pool. I don't like it. Why would he not be in the pool?
Blake Snell for me. I just don't think I need to get there against San Diego. Very, very low K team. Yes, Snell can strike out anybody, but I just don't think I need to get there against San Diego on a 13-game slate. I need to whittle the pool down somewhere. And so I'm going to pick a guy that I'm not very confident about today. So no Blake Snell in the pool for me today.
All right. Fair enough. And I'm not sitting here telling you I think he's going to have an awesome game. I just think that if we were doing a draft and the sole point of the draft was to find the pitcher that scores the most fantasy points tonight, I think he's top 4. I think he's top 4 with the variance.
I mean,
certainly.
Yes, sure. But he's also top 4 in price.
Yeah. But like, how much, do we need all that salary tonight? What do we need to pay up for? Like, what do I absolutely have to buy as far as the hitters?
I don't have to absolutely buy Blake Snell either, though.
Well, you have the salary. You might as well spend it somewhere.
I would rather spend it with Woo and Eovaldi.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so we got 2 in the pool. We have Woo, we have Eovaldi. So I'm assuming, Toronto homer. You're a longtime Shane Bieber fan. Not just the Bieber tie-in, but just he's now on your team. He's facing the Marlins team. That's a little scrappy, I suppose. But and I think as far as the leash, we're giving him. Let me see. He did throw 90 pitches his last time out as far as his rehab. That he was throwing strikes in rehab, 88 pitches, which is mostly stretched out, probably fine. I think you got to kind of pay for it. 9K seems like a bit much for his first start of the season, but I think he's in the pool. Bieber in the pool. Oh boy, I'm 0 for 2. All right.
Low
Um,
strikeout stuff for Bieber. That's really the only reason. I'm not playing Miami against him either. I just view him kind of very similarly to Fried, which again, to your point, is why I probably should be playing Snell. I just feel like we very rarely get those ceiling games against the Padres. But from a pitcher standpoint, like I think I'm so happy that Shane Bieber is looking really good to make his debut for the Blue Jays. That was probably their biggest area of need, is a fifth starter, and they picked a fifth starter who could potentially be their ace. And so I'm really, really excited about Shane Bieber being there for the Blue Jays. But from a DFS perspective, just not a big strikeout guy, so I'm not going there.
All right. Oh, you know what? Let me just get this one out of the way. I assume Zebby Matthews is somewhere in your pool. He's got a fair amount of upside, good K rate. When you compare it to everybody else on the slate here, all 26 guys, his K rate in the season, it's the second highest, only behind Nolan McLean. Small sample on McLean. He was great. He was outstanding in his first start. We'll talk about him in a second, probably. Zebby's got to be. He's got to be in the pool. If he's not in the pool, I'm walking off the show.
I wanted to give you an just because it would be funny for you to walk off the show. But yeah, Zebby Matthews is in the pool. Probably going to give up some home runs. He always does. But man, can this guy strike out some bats as well? Like we've seen last week was a perfect example where he got lit up in the first inning. He only went 4. He only went 4 innings. He was the cash game SB2. We all thought we were going to be dead. But because he was cheap and he still ended up getting 6 strikeouts, he wasn't that bad. And so just at that price, like you got to take the strikeout upside.
Okay. Working our way down here.
Before we keep going, let's give the new clue number 1 for our movie Monday, because
should I tell the people the 5 clues of my movie?
Yeah. Yeah. Go through the full one for that.
Okay. So the first clue was New York, and that was enough. That was enough for Dunk to take it down. The second clue was debate. The third clue was murder. The fourth clue was enraged. The fifth clue is dozen. That's New York, debate, murder, enraged, and dozen. And should I tell the people why I picked this? I'll tell them actually when we do the tiers, because it's relevant to today's tiers. So I'll tell them the name of the movie later on. But yeah, and I'll drop the clues actually in the chat if you're curious. In both chats, I'll put it in both the the Discord channel and the YouTube. But these are not official anymore. This is just for fun, and I'll be giving the answer when we get the tiers. But the first clue for you mostly put this together here on the fly for round 2. Win a week free of RG Premium or Scores and Odds. It's Dad. Now, if somebody gets it on number 1 here, that's it. No more prizes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Clue number 1 for Film Friday, also relevant to the tiers board today, which we can talk about at the end. Clue number 1 for Film Friday, version 2 is Dad. Dad is clue number 1 for Film Friday.
All right. Now back to me guessing what is in your pool. Okay, let's see. This is like it's a bunch of names. So I think you play some McLean. He's a little pricey, but he was fantastic his first time out. Bit of a prospect there for New York. In Atlanta, I think he's in the pool. That's not my next guess. I don't want to go with 3 strikes. I'll take a kind of a safe one who's not necessarily great, but he's sort of a safe play that I think is going to just get ownership because he's cheap enough. You have some Ryan Nelson, I think. I think Ryan Nelson's in the pool. You're not happy about it, but he's there.
Ryan Nelson's in the pool. I don't really know why, but I've become a Ryan Nelson fan this year. I've made some money having him in my pool and in my lineup. So yeah, Ryan Nelson is in fact there. That's a ding.
All right.
So you got 2 strikes, 4 cleared off of the board with 5 remaining.
Yeah, and if you get 3 strikes, we go to the audience. We go to YouTube, and then I know we pick one of the random guesses. So get your guesses ready. Get ready to steal YouTube. If I don't not sweep the board here the rest of the way. On the same vein, I think as Ryan Nelson, Jose Quintana, he was like perfectly fine. He's a perfectly prominent pitcher. Nothing spectacular. San Fran's not great. He's okay. He's cheap enough. enough of a discount off of like the Evaldi and the likes. I think Jose Quintana's in your pool. Like, again, another click you're not happy about, but I think he's there. Oh boy. All right, so chat trying to steal. Got to get the points there. Let me know in chat who is left on the board that I've not yet said, because that's 3 strikes for me. I'm done. I'm out.
If this game was in San Francisco, Quintana would have absolutely been in my pool. It's a bit of a park upgrade for bats in this one, and just not a lot of upside for him. He has been pitching very well lately, and so I totally get it. But he was one of the guys that I put the cut on today, just because I don't see a scenario where he gives us like 25 plus points.
So Derek in chat is saying McLean, McCullers, Bergerts. Mr. Richard saying Povich, Ben Brown. I don't think you're playing Ben Brown. I don't think you're playing McCullers. Slade Ciccone. I think you could play Povich. I think you could play McLean. Casey Mize. I think you could play him as well. I think all 3 of those are probably on the board. McLean, Povich, and Mize. Yeah. It's at least 2 of those, right, TJ? At least 2 of those guys are in the pool, correct?
Yes.
Okay. At least 2.
2
You're looking
exactly.
up like
2 of them exactly.
2. Oh, okay. All right. So 2 of McLean. I'm going to say Povich is in the pool. He showed some strikeout ability last time out, and he's cheap. And there you go. Povich is in there, yes?
That's the recipe right there. Strikeout ability and cheap, absolutely in the pool. Playing a lot of Houston, though, too, just because it's like one that I really like both sides of. I feel like one of these sides could be integral today.
Ben Brown has some strikeout ability, and he's cheap, and he's facing a good strikeout opponent. So if you're trying to give me a clue without saying anything, maybe Ben Brown is in the pool. 24.5% K is one of the bigger K rates on the slate. I'm going to say McCullers is just not in. I'm going backwards. I'm just going to X out that suggestion. Is McCullers in the pool?
McCullers is in the pool.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me on McCullers, because I don't want to play him. That Baltimore is bad, I guess.
The best I can do to sell you on McCullers is he has been horrific, absolutely horrific this year to right-handed bats. And there are only 3 of them today in the Baltimore lineup. They rolled out a lineup that has Jeremiah Jackson, Ryan Mountcastle, and Kobe Mayo. Oh, I guess, sorry. No, there is Basalo's not in the lineup. So there is a 4th right-handed bat. Let me refresh here.
I don't know why they're not playing him. They just paid him a bunch of money and they're not playing. I don't get
Vasquez,
it.
Jackson, Mayo, Mountcastle, and Jeremiah Jackson. So, again, there's 1 good right-handed bat there. 5 total. But, like, he's shown a big K rate against left-handed bats, and the left-handed bats are Holiday, Henderson, Cowser, and Beavers. They're the 4 that we're actually afraid of. The only right-handed bat that I'm actually really worried about is Mountcastle. So I do like McCullers today as a cheap tournament option, just because I think it's actually a good matchup for him.
All right. I mean, the strikeouts to me for McCullers, I guess he's been okay this year as far as the walks are really a problem. 13.4% as far as the walks. I don't love this Baltimore lineup. I thought it'd be better today, so I guess I kind of get it, but I'm not playing him for the record. And we ran up some other names. Mize, in or out?
Mize out.
Okay. On the fringe or just a hard no?
Too expensive. Not typically a high strikeout guy. Obviously had a really big outing last week, but more of a outlier ceiling performance, and just not a guy that I'm expecting to go off again today against a low strikeout team.
Ciccone?
Nope.
Okay, so who is left? I'm trying to see. Like, I feel like there's like three left maybe in the pool. And I don't know if chat said them. Oh, you know what? I got to circle back because I said 2 of those 3 are in. So, certainly not you're not playing Michaelis. I can't imagine. Maybe Burgert.
McLean is the other one you mentioned that by math, taking out
he's in
the pool. Yeah,
he's in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just he's shown an ability to strike people out in a small sample here.
And 6% projected ownership. That's the big thing.
Yeah, that is an appealing number. I do agree. Anything interesting as far as the lineups that are coming out? We just got the Angels. Let's see. Neto's back in there. He got hit in the hand the other day, so that's good to see. Shanwell, Trout, Ward, Moncada, Adele, Ohapi, Moore, and Teodosio. So that is your Angels lineup. We got Mariners as well. Rosarena, Big Dumper, Kyle Raleigh, J-Rod, Naylor, Suarez, Polanco, Raleigh, Crawford, and Young. Rays, Simpson, Caminero, Lau, Lowe, Mangum, Fiducia, Williams. Seymour is in there, by the way. And Gray. I know Cheese wrote about, had some fun with Seymour today. Bob Seymour, who was the first Bob in baseball to homer in 23 years. I don't know if you saw that when he homered yesterday or day before yesterday. We've not had a Bob homer in baseball in 23 years. Fun fact? Is that fun? It's a fact.
Sure.
Debatably fun. That's up for debate. All right. You want to drop that second clue for the people, TJ, as far as the part two, our second version here of the today's Film Friday. What is the second clue for the people?
I will. I was just thinking the exact same thing. So clue number 2 is snake. We have clue number 1, dad. Clue number 2, snake. If you want this to be worth something, if you want this to be a free week of RotoGrinders Premium for somebody, not only do you got to get your guess, one guess per clue in the RotoGrinders live stream Discord chat, we need 125 likes. 125 likes on YouTube, or else this is just a good old game for fun. Oh, so we also have Spidey Bomb number 1, which I will drop right now. This is probably my favorite bat on the slate on DraftKings, inclusive of price and ownership. Batting cleanup today, plus 350 to hit a homer. Not great, but not bad. But batting cleanup today, cheap and very low owned in projections, and that's Matt Wallner. So Matt Wallner, Spidey Bomb number 1. I think he's probably going to end up being my highest owned bat on the slate.
He's 2.9. That's FanDuel price? Okay, I think that seems too cheap. I think he's in the 3s though, right?
Yeah,
he is 3.8 on DK. All right. More pitchers. Any other pitchers you want to knock out before we get to the tier board? Who have we not discussed in great detail? Brian Bayo. I'm assuming you're not playing him. No
Brian Bayo.
I'm assuming there's no Zach Littell.
No Zach Littell.
I'm assuming there's no Joey Wentz.
No Joey Wentz.
If you really want to get goofy, and this is,
I care about to speak my language.
I mean, this is a ridiculous one. Maybe he would have rostered his person like 15 years ago.
Oh, never mind.
Oh no, it's okay. So he's just really, really cheap. And no, so it's a no on you, Darvish.
Darvish, no.
In theory, he still has something left in the tank. But okay, I know he's taking on the Dodgers as well, but his former team. I'm guessing no Tyler Anderson. I'm guessing no Carson Whisenhunt. Feel free to interrupt me and tell me I'm wrong. I'm guessing no Aaron Savali. No Miles Michaelis. Ryan Gusto? No. Wait. You're playing Michaelis?
No.
Oh, okay. I would love to hear the pitcher Michaelis.
There are only so many pitchers left.
Well, I'm working backwards now. I'm trying to see who's left standing. Who's left? Bergert? I guess Bergert is left, but I don't think you want to roster.
Bergert's in the pool.
Okay, tell me why you want Bergert.
I don't really want Bergert, but he is cheap, and he's been pretty good so far. So that's really all there is to it. And he's projecting for really low ownership.
Yeah. Taking on Detroit. As far as the lineup today, it's pretty contact heavy, with the exception of Torkelson and Green. And Baez.
Small percentage of me, even with with that strikeout rate, there's a small percentage of me with an extreme hitters umpire that wants to X out Zebby Matthews at 20+% projected ownership.
And I'll tell you what, I think it's going to be higher than that. I think it'll be higher than 20.
I do too.
he's like the default. Like, well, that's the guy. Like when you're picking between, and especially if you're like hand building, and you're debating between, Hauser and Mize and Zebby and Nelson and Quintana, I think most people will take Zebby. I just think that that's what they're going to do because, it's the White Sox. People like picking on the White Sox. He's at the biggest K rate amongst that group as well. So I expect it to be higher.
I do too. I'm going to take
your
out
face. Oh, you're Xing him out.
Yeah.
I just think that you don't necessarily have to win it at pitching today. Just don't lose it at pitching. And I think it's the opportunity in this slate is just being different at hitters because there's a ton of good hitters that aren't going to get played. None of them are in great spots. What's that?
But I can do both.
You can do both. I don't know you. I don't know if you have to do both, but you can do both for sure. You can do that. They're your lineups, man. Padres just came out, by the way. It looks like no Iglesias. O'Hearn is in there, so I guess we had Iglesias projected. Otherwise, looks pretty standard. Okay, Tatis, Arise, Machado, O'Hearn, Bogarts, Sheets, Laureano, Cronenworth, and Fermin is doing the catching. Anything else you want to say as far as pitching? We do have to get to our tiers because, again, we have 26 teams to throw in the tiers.
I mean, you're still missing one that's in my pool.
Okay. Have I said the name?
I have not said his name today.
I have not even in passing, not even like
you have not even in passing mentioned his name.
I have not acknowledged the existence of this person.
No.
Luis Morales?
Yep.
Okay. Talk to me about Luis Morales.
K upside, super cheap, one of the best pitchers parks in baseball. Nobody's playing him.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get played. Does he have a decent leash as far as Morales? What's his leash these days?
So we were only projecting him. I remember playing him at like 5K the last time he started, and we were only projecting him for like 60 some pitches because he hadn't pitched more than that yet. And then they threw him out there for 87 pitches. And so I kind of feel like this is a situation where he's probably only going to end up with around 85, 90 as like a permanent ceiling. But we don't know that. If they're just willing all of a sudden extend him that much, we don't know that he's not going to be a 100+ pitch pitcher now. And so hopefully, it's a really good offense. The most likely scenario is he walks 6 dudes and he's out of there pretty quick. But I'm going to take a chance on a cheap guy nobody's playing that has strikeout upside.
I mean, that's been the issue, right? And it's all small sample stuff, like you said. 18.6% as far as the walks. 21% K, so almost as much walks as strikeouts. Again, it's just 9 innings and change. A mega fly ball lean as well. But again, super
2 walks,
small
5 Ks, only 1 earned run last game.
Yeah.
Like 5 of those walks came in 1 game.
He jumped up 30 pitches, 37, 57, 87. And they let him get the win there, it looks like, because I think he got the win points. I imagine they let him go 5, so maybe that was part of it. Get him the W. But okay. Anything else you want to say as far as pitchers?
No, I think that's it.
Do you want to drop today's third
I'm just
clue?
Realizing I still got to make the tier board.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Well, this is the perks of being the producer extraordinaire. You got to be multitasking on the fly. I'll tell the people the third clue. It'll be scrolling there momentarily. But again, TJ is busy building the third clue for today's brand new Film Friday board. The first one was already knocked out. It was Bing, so we made one here on the fly. The third clue is Palm. That is your third clue. Get in the Discord channel and hit that like button too. What I want to see, TJ, is I want somebody to hit it now, and then they're touting everybody else up to like hit the like button for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Help me out. I want to get a week free of RG Premium. Because you put a stipulation, it's got to be at least 125 likes. Otherwise, this is all for naught. It's all just nonsense. It's preseason, essentially. All right. Did I buy enough time? Did I ramble enough time with my diatribe here? Did I give you a chance to make today's tiers board? Because
but I'm realizing I don't remember what my fourth one was. Okay, there it is. I sent Steve the tier board today.
Okay.
Like I knew that I was producing. I was ready for everything, but for some reason in my brain, Steve would still be doing the tier board. And so I sent it to him before the show. And so luckily I actually have it written down, but it is all ready to go now. Let me get it pulled up on the screen, and then I will start dropping that third clue. But I've been
tell the people what inspired today's tiers.
I've been I've been telling you about it, but I'm on a little bit of a kick lately where I realize as a guy who talks about movies for a living, you know, I have two hats. I have my RotoGrinders hat. I talk about fantasy sports. I have my Agents of Fandom hat where I talk about TV and movies. And I realize I have too many either blind spots of, you know, major critically acclaimed all-time films that I either haven't seen before or I've seen, but, you know, it was 10 plus years ago. My frontal lobe wasn't developed yet, Dean. I was still a youngster when I was watching these movies. I wasn't looking at them with the same critical lens. And so
you're an adult now, you're a father.
Yeah. And so I've been watching a ton of movies lately, and I've been trying to get in at least one a day on weekdays, 2 a day on weekends has been my goal. And I've watched just an absolute ton of bangers lately. And so I have ranked, it's not in the same format as the typical tiers list where 4 is not very good and 5 is bad, because I'm just watching great movies. I haven't watched a bad movie in the last week. So none of these are bad. I think the worst, my number 5 on this list, I have it as a 7.5 out of 10. The reason I chose to put it last is because I think it's kind of overrated. I've heard this described as like an all-time movie, and I didn't see it that way. And so I'll pull the list up. Number 1 for me of this group that I've been watching, my favorite is Interstellar. Now, I totally understand why most people probably wouldn't have this at number 1. It is long. It's 3.5 hours. Like, it's a long movie. It gets weird and wacky at the end. I don't mind a long movie as long as it's got a big grandiose story, which it did. And I don't mind weird and wacky. I think that's a lot of fun. I loved Interstellar. I loved it so much. I thought it was incredible. Good Will Hunting was one I had seen once, but as a kid. And so I didn't know much about it. I didn't remember much about it at all. Just rewatched it. I thought it was really, really great. So Good Will Hunting, I have number 2. No Country for Old Men, I put 3. Still have this as a 9 out of 10. Like, I don't have this as a bad movie by any means, but I liked it less than Interstellar and Good Will Hunting. I appreciated, you know, the big storytelling twist and how they concluded that movie as like an art style. But it wasn't my favorite as someone who is heavily invested in story. Like, that's always my number 1 part of the movie. If the visuals are kind of off, sometimes I don't notice it. I appreciate a good score, but the most important part for me in a movie is always the story. Inglourious Basterds 4, I had seen it once, but my wife hadn't seen it, so I did a rewatch of that one. Great movie, but just falls below the rest of them for me. And then Spirited Away was the one that fell a little bit flat for me. It's, I think, considered by many to be, you know, Miyazaki, Studio Ghibli's best movie. It's it won an Academy Award for Best Animated Picture. I thought it was fine, you know, still like a 7.5-ish, 8 out of 10 movie for me, but didn't live up to the hype for me.
So I have the IMDb top 250, and you said some people don't like Interstellar. Interstellar, every single movie of all time, IMDb, but like only 7 movies on IMDb, a 9 or higher. One of the 7 was today's initial film Friday. It's the reason why I picked it, but Interstellar is number 17 all time. So it's again a massive
that's number. One of those ones that's going to have a higher critic rating than audience rating, though.
Yeah, I think that's audience. Isn't that? I'm pretty sure that's audience on IMDb, the 1 through 10. Yeah, there you go. I think that's audience. Yeah,
I could have missed that one a little bit. I just felt like there's a lot of people who see a movie as over 3 hours and are like, not for me.
It's a lot. But like Alec Burleson was scratched for St. Louis. Nathan Church looks like he's taking a spot. Yeah, and I love Good Will Hunting, one of my favorite movies. I love Inglourious Basterds. One of the greatest performances, Christoph Waltz. I don't know if there's a better performance I've seen in a movie in the last 20 years. Just incredible. And like Tarantino talks about it, he's like, listen, if I couldn't find Christoph Waltz, I would not have done that movie. Like, he was ready to scrap the whole thing. He couldn't find anybody to do that. And I've not seen Spirited Away. So the movie I picked is actually a movie in the top 7. One of the 7 movies on the IMDb top 250 list. Because I knew your list and I wanted to pick something off that. And it is, and I wonder if you've seen it because I feel like you should see it. I think everybody should see 12 Angry Men. 12 Angry Men is just an incredible movie. Now, it's from the 50s, but it holds up spectacularly well. It's a quick watch. It's like an hour and a half. They did a remake with like Tony Soprano, James Gandolfini, like Tony Danza, Edward James Olmos like 20 years ago. But watch the original. It's an incredible movie. Highly advise watch it. And again, it's old, it's black and white, but it'll be fine. And you'll realize just watching it's worth a watch. And it's only like an hour and a half. So give that a shot. That was our initial Film Friday. That was the reason why I picked it. I assume you've never seen that, probably. And I'm not one of these cinephiles, TJ. I'm not one of these guys that are pushing a snobby, like, oh, you got to watch this French film from the 30s. That's not me. If that's you, enjoy it. Have a good time. But I think this is for everybody. I think everybody would get something out of 12 Angry Men.
I'll put it on the list.
Put it on the list and get back to me because I think it's excellent. And it's still relevant. All right.
I'm starting with ones that I can find on streaming. I don't know if that's streaming anywhere, but I will go elsewhere after. But like first off, I'm going through all the ones that are available on streaming services that I have.
Boston, New York, Max Fried versus Brian Bayo. New York does have close to a 5 total. I saw Kirkwood hanging out there in the chat, and he would hear reminding you if he was in the show, for sure he would say, I always notice whenever Boston and New York they get together, they have some wacky games, they have some funky games. Sometimes you get those 20 run games. So we're talking offenses. We said we both kind of agree. There's no amazing offenses. There's certainly plenty that you could be interested in. You could always play Aaron Judge. Where are we putting the Yankees and Boston?
I'm going to put Boston down in tier 5 just because I'm not getting to them at all. Like Spirited Away is a good movie. Boston's a good team. I don't think you're crazy to play them. Max Fried's been struggling, but I just don't really feel like picking on him on such a big slate. So I'm not getting to any Boston whatsoever. The Yankees, I'm going to put in Goodwill Hunting. Love them as a mini stack. Love some individual bats for them. As a full stack, Bayo is not somebody I really want to pick on. He's a really good ground ball guy. And so I would prefer to mini stack and get one-offs than full stack. But they are still going to be one of my most exposed teams today. So I'm going to put them up in Goodwill Hunting.
All right. Yankees in Goodwill Hunting, Boston. You'd think Boston would be in Goodwill Hunting too, but it's not. They're not in Goodwill Hunting. They are in Spirited Away. Houston at Baltimore, Cade Povich versus Lance McCullers. We haven't seen McCullers in a bit. I don't love this Baltimore lineup, but they are cheap. They're certainly cheap, and they have close to a 5 total. Povich, we did talk about how he had that 10 strikeout game the other day, but I don't know if we're necessarily afraid of him. Where do you want to put Houston and Baltimore on the board?
Houston, I will put up into tier 2 alongside the Yankees today. I'm going to get to a ton of Povich, but anytime the Astros play against the lefty, you got to like them as well. So I'm going to be probably trying to get overweight on both sides of this today. Overweight on Houston, overweight on Cade Povich. And so I got them up in Goodwill Hunting. And then on the Orioles side, I'm going to put them in No Country for Old Men. I definitely think you can play them against McCullers. They just don't quite rank in my top 2 tiers because of that lineup today. Like they're just not if there's a good matchup for a McCullers type, like a reverse splitsy kind of guy, it is this Baltimore team who is good against traditional righties. So I got them in No Country for Old Men. I definitely think they have upside, but I'm not going to have near as much of them as my top stacks.
That's one of the games that Weather Edge actually likes, the Baltimore game, just for the record. 15% bump in homers, 7.6 bump in runs. And a pretty big sample, 258 games. And the other tricky thing is, I don't know how that accounts for, does it include all the games where the fences were moved back? I guess they do. I don't know. They since moved the fences in a couple of years ago down mostly down the left field line. All right. So otherwise, there's not a ton Weather Edge really likes today. It's not extremely hot many places. I think it's pretty good in Tampa, but Weather Edge is not on Tampa, not in the 90s, but in the 80s when wind blowing out to some degree. Center field. We shall scoot along. Should we drop the next clue, TJ? I don't think we have a winner just yet for
We don't have a winner just yet. Let's go ahead and drop the next clue. Let me scroll down to find it. Clue number 4 is Sword. Sword is clue number 4. Get your guesses into the RotoGrinders live stream Discord chat. But a reminder, if we don't have 125 likes on YouTube, it's just for fun. It's just for fun. We need 125 likes on YouTube for this to be worthwhile, since it was our second Film Friday. Our first one was already won by Dunk 101. He aced it.
I don't know how.
On New York as clue number 1 for 12 Angry Men. And so we're going a second one, but we need 125 likes for it to someone to still win 1 free week of RotoGrinders Premium. We'll also get my second Spidey Bomb as soon as we get to 100 likes, which we're already very close to.
Royals, Detroit, Casey Mize, Ryan Bergert. Detroit is the big favorite here, minus 160 versus the Royals. Where do you want to put KC and the Tigers?
KC is going to go in the bottom tier for me in Spirited Away. I don't think I need to get to Casey Mize against the low strikeout team, but I certainly don't need to pick on him either. So no Kansas City Royals for me. I'm not getting any Tigers against Bergert either, but I totally understand if you want to. I'm going to put them in Inglorious Bastards.
All right. And we don't have time to get into it, but I understand you had some qualifiers, but it's just crazy. It's wild for me to see Inglorious Bastards in the 4-hole. I understand why you're doing it. I get it.
Yeah.
Good competition.
Like, what would you put it ahead
What a
of?
good movie. I would have it ahead of No Country for Old Men, and I would probably have it ahead of Interstellar, but they're all good. They're all like ace movies. So, like, I'm not going to fight.
I'm so excited for the chat to be so mad when we reveal what the movie is.
Oh, they're going to be furious. They're not going to be happy with you. Several people are not going to be happy with you. One person probably will once they figure out what the movie is exactly. But okay, it's Toronto and the Marlins. 8 is the total. The Biebs, Shane Bieber taking on Ryan Gusto in Miami. So Miami not a really big team total here. 3 and change against Toronto. Toronto, of course, their lineup takes a big hit with the absence of Vladdy. No Vladdy. So Springer, Barger, Bichette, Kirk, Varsho, France, Lukes, Clement, and Jimenez just really weakens the absence of Vladdy. Just takes the sting of that lineup to some degree, but they are pretty big favorites in Miami. Where do you want Toronto and the Fish?
We did just get our winner in YouTube chat, so I'm excited to see some people react to this one, knowing how many people get something very, very similar. But we'll, of course, go over that as soon as we get through some more of these tier things here, and we'll reveal the movie at the end and how the clues pertain to it. I have Miami all the way at the bottom and Spirited Away. Not playing any Bieber. He's not a big strikeout rate guy. It's his first game back, even though he's looked great in the minors. And so Spirited Away is where I'm going to put the Marlins today. I don't want to play any of them against Bieber. Blue Jays and Inglorious Bastards. I don't think this is a great spot for them, but they're also one of the best teams in baseball. And so I'm going to include them in the pool just because I think you need to.
Just sneaking that in there casually, one of the best teams in baseball.
Am I wrong?
That's more of like an accusation on the teams in baseball, but I guess they are kind of, sort of. I guess they don't feel like they should be.
I mean, they should. Where's their weakness? They're the best defensive team in baseball. They don't got a ton of power, but they got a lot of power that's injured on the bench right now. They have 5 SP2s. You know, no bona fide ace, but they have 5 guys that are legitimate SP2s, and so I think they actually, like, this is the best I've ever felt about a Blue Jays team since the Donaldson Batista years by far.
Oh, those are some fun years.
I guess even though like you didn't really think they were ever going to win, they just hit so many bombs that it was still fun to watch.
The Batista like bat flip, was that against the Athletics? Texas, yeah. One of the greatest moments. I mean, and like the camera shaking, that looked like it just seemed like an insane.
Because it was after like him and Odor were like fighting like every game.
Well, there were several like infield goof ups as well that led up to it. I remember watching that game live, and there must have been like 2 or 3 errors on the Texas side because I think they were up big and they just imploded, and it was like a 7-run inning. I
remember exactly where I was for that one. It was at like a university restaurant / bar that would sometimes host events. We just went because the game was on and we were out of classes for the day. And so like they had this big projector screen showing it, and we had the table right in front of it. We were the only people in this place because people don't really go there at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, whenever it was. And so it was a lot of fun.
But TJ, you're being kind. The winner, by the way, is, it's funny you said people are going to be upset. Wicked Pissed. Wicked Pissed is the winner here with today's second version of our
technically didn't get the official title.
That's what I was getting at. You're being kind because he didn't officially give the legit answer. You've already given the awards. You've already put the avatars on there. But, you could really, if you want to bust out the red pen, didn't get it exactly right. But, we're being kind, I suppose.
I mean, hey, look, Wicked Pits isn't winning anything unless we get up to 125 likes on YouTube. So we need people hitting that like button.
If we hit 124, Wicked Pissed is going to be angry. All right, Mets and Braves, 8.5 total. Joey Wentz versus Nolan McClain. McClain looked really, really awesome his first start. Game in Atlanta, so better environment. It's not the perfect weather for Atlanta. Last we saw Roth at this game, yellow typically is yellow, right? Games here in Atlanta. Anything change? Yellow, green, so no issues, I assume. Roth will speak to it about 20 minutes or so. Yellow, green, and Tampa as well. We'll get to that in a second. Where are we placing the Mets and the Braves in honor of producer Steve?
In honor of producer Steve, I won't put the Mets in the bottom tier today, but I actually don't really have interest in any of these two teams. I'm going to be underweight on both of them. I X'd out that game. It's just I'm not saying that you should, that everybody should. Atlanta and the Mets are two good offenses that could definitely go off. It's just 130 games. 13 game slates. I don't know where 130 came from. Added an extra 0, but 13 game slate. I got to make some cuts somewhere, and Atlanta and the Mets are a place I'm going to do it.
All right, next up is St. Louis and Tampa. Miles Michaelis against Adrian Hauser, 9 total. Tampa is the favorite here, minus 144, almost a 5 total. 2 of my favorite hitters in the slates. This is probably the game I'm starting my stack around. I don't know if I need to complete a stack, but I'm very, very likely to start my teams with Brandon Lau and Junior Caminero. You do have a lot of cheap pieces around them on Tampa. Some of these guys are not prospects. They may look like prospects, but they're not. Like Fiducia is like 28. Tristan Gray, I think, is 28. Bob Seymour, I think, is 28. He's got a bunch of homers in the minors, so he better. He's hitting them off guys that are 10 years younger than him. I'm not saying you can't play him, but I want to get excited about who are these kids? Well, not really. Not really in the sense of baseball. So I wouldn't necessarily call these guys prospects. Carson Williams is the one that does have some power and is young. But not to say that Seymour doesn't have power. They're all cheap. That's the other thing, is that you can make stuff work here at Tampa. So they're one of my favorite teams on the board. And if you missed it again, Burleson was scratched for St. Louis. Where do you want to put the Cards and the Rays?
Cards I got down at the bottom, not getting to any of them today. Another team that just doesn't quite make my list on such a big slate. Tampa, I have up quite a bit. I'm going to put them in tier 2. Love Tampa today. Miles Michaelis, not a strong pitcher at all, is a fly ball. He's just like a pitch to contact guy, and it's in a small little minor league stadium. And so Tampa is going to be, let's do it. Tampa up in Interstellar, first tier 1 team of the day. They're going to be one of my top stacks on the slate. And so I got them up there in Interstellar.
All right. I just love the reason why Lau and, especially Lau, I love these power hitters that, strike out a lot, facing pitchers that don't strike out a lot of people. So the chances of Lau putting the ball in play increase. And Miles Michaelis, I think it's a 14% K rate against lefties in the season. Also,
and
probably
Lau
the best hitting environment.
Plus 350 to hit a home run today, and we're going to make him Spidey Bomb number 2 since we are at 100 likes. So keep hitting that like button so Wicked Piss can win a week free of RG Premium. And plus, if we get up to 150, I'll drop Spidey Bomb number 3. So keep hitting that like button. Matt Wallner, the first one. Brandon Lau, the second one.
You got
also
beer and cheese.
We'll drop the 5th clue for those just playing around for fun, which is wedding.
Beer and cheese coming in, as well as cheap meteorologist Kevin Roth, 15 minutes or so for crunch time, taking you guys all the way up to lock. Next game is Minnesota. Minnesota in Chicago, Aaron Savali and the Chalky, Zebby Matthews. Minnesota is the slight favorite here, minus 131. I know you talked about Matt Wallner being one of your favorite hitters in the slate. I think he was Spidey Bomb number 1, if I'm not mistaken. So where do we want to put these The Twins, a lot of cheap pieces for Minnesota as well. I don't know how good some of them are, but there are a lot of. This is my other overarching thought is like it's not hard to get good hitters, good pitchers because you can get 2 or 3 punts that are all kind of it's not scraping the barrel incredibly. Like a guy like Brooks Lee is cheap. He's not terrible. He's competent.
Don't you dare besmirch Brooks Lee. We love Brooks Lee.
I wasn't. I was never even considering it. Twins, White Sox. What do you got?
Gonna throw both of these teams in tier 3. No country for old men. The Twins I like for different reasons though. The Twins I love as a mini stack with guys like and one-offs with guys like Matt Wallner. I don't really love a full stack for the Twins today. For the White Sox, I don't really love a mini stack as much as I love the full stack because Zebby Matthews can get a little bit wild. It's an extreme hitters plus he's going to be picking up some ownership. So I do like the idea of playing some White Sox today, but I'm probably not going to be getting too many one-offs of them. I like Vargas, I like Sosa, but I think there's going to be other guys I'll prioritize a little bit more. So I'll put both of these teams in tier 3.
Next up is Cleveland and Texas, 7.5.
Shoot. I just got my first run in, and you'll never guess who my highest owned team is.
What your highest owned offense is? Well, it's probably somebody in tier 4 or tier 5, I'm guessing.
It's the White Sox.
Oh, it is the White Sox. Okay.
Yeah.
If I didn't fire up the SimLabs stuff today, I would imagine SimLabs likes him because the old leverage, right? And they're actually not terrible. Sosa's
been really good.
I wouldn't say really. You said really good. I wouldn't say really good. You said
they're really good. And since the All-Star break, I would say really good.
Okay. All right.
From a fantasy perspective, not real baseball, but fantasy.
No, I get you. Yeah, I understand. Montgomery has been awesome versus righties this year so far. 277 ISO. Sosa shows some power. We haven't really seen him from Luis Robert. Benintendi, not really. I think Teal is actually like a legit, like decent baseball player. He's flashed some stuff. He's a prospect there for Chicago. There's some pieces that I don't mind. I do think it's interesting. That's the thing, TJ. If you say you were to keep that, say you're to run, and I'm not telling you to make your lineups, but say you're to keep the first iteration, and your dominant team or the one you the most of is White Sox. You don't have to clown around with pitchers. Just like play the best 5. Again, we're not sure who the best 5 are. That's a different conversation, maybe. But right, is that not fair to say? If you're playing White Sox, you don't really need to get goofy. You were on mute, sir.
Oh, sorry, my dog was being loud. I agree with you, but also when you're playing in a contest with 35,000 people in it, it's also extra better if you get different at both. And it's like this is a situation where I am actively trying to lower my baseball entry fees so that I can save as much as possible for football. I've always been a guy that plays much higher volume in NFL than any other sport. And so I'm playing in not even the $1 mini max. It's my wife's birthday today. I'm going out for dinner after this. I'm not going to pay close attention. And so I'm just playing in the $75 mini max today, 150 lineups. And so there's 35,000 people in it. Doesn't really matter to me if I lose money in it. I kind of just I would love first, first place would be great. Let's add to that football bankroll. But if it goes poorly, I don't really care either. And so I am more likely in these scenarios to get extra different, shoot for first out of 35,000 and just, be totally fine if it goes poorly. Whereas, if I was playing in a bit higher dollar contest, I might get a little less spicy.
Shout out to your wife. Happy birthday. Anything special planned?
We went out for brunch with some of her friends this morning. She had a massage during the day, which she probably just got home from about 20 minutes ago. And then I never know what restaurants are Canadian and what are North American chains. Do you guys have the Keg?
I don't know. Sometimes things are regional. I don't know where
we're going to a place called the Keg. Oh wow, Ziddy and Chad bet you with Tony he's going to the Keg. There you go.
I know. Yeah, the Keg. I was at the Keg in Toronto. I'm pretty sure the Keg is a Canadian establishment. I'm fairly certain, but it might be in the up north in America.
it's one of our. It's like probably like the top steakhouse in the city.
I've been there before. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So enjoy and have yourself a lovely night. We have some. We got to speed up the pace here just a little bit, TJ, because there's a lot of games, and we're getting off the reservation here and there. And I'm asking side questions. Cleveland and Texas. Eovaldi, Slate Ciccone, 7.5 total. What? Where do you want to put these teams?
I'm gonna bump up White Sox a tier just because since I am getting so much of them, it does seem a little disingenuous to have them lower than that. So I'm going to keep the White Sox up in Goodwill Hunting. And then in this one, Cleveland is the easiest tier 5 ever. Like I could be playing 1,000 lineups and I wouldn't have any Cleveland today. Texas, I'm going to put in 3. I think they're in a good spot against Ciccone. I do like the mini stacks more than the full stacks. I see some really great lineup scenarios where I get to play, Rowdy Tellez and Jock Peterson, and then I can play both Eovaldi and Wu together. And so I do like these guys as a mini stack a lot more than a full stack, but they're my highest 2-man stack on the slate, but are near the bottom for 5-man stacks.
San Francisco and Milwaukee is next up. 8.5 total. Jose Quintana versus Carson Whisenhunt. Brewers, Giants. This game to me is pretty uneventful. I hope there's not a lot of fireworks here. I don't mind some individual pieces, but overall, I think I'm mostly ignoring this from all 4 angles. Quintana, Whisenhunt, and both offenses. Tell me if you feel otherwise.
We got someone in chat. Where was it? I just lost the combo. Steve Lookin asked if there's any Earls still open in Canada, and we actually have one in Saskatoon. That's one of our more popular restaurants here. It's really well run, and at the one that we have now. So yeah, we got we do still have an Earls. In terms of this game, I agree. I think it'll be pretty uneventful. I do want to play some Milwaukee just because Milwaukee's been doing some crazy stuff lately and just absolutely breaking slates when it looks like they shouldn't. And so I do have Milwaukee in tier 3 because they're a team I still want to get exposure to. Giants, I don't have any of them. I'm going to drop them in Inglorious Bastards.
Favorite individual bats if I had to choose? Vaughn for Milwaukee, Elio Ramos for San Fran. But yeah, mostly going to be off that. Next up is Chicago, and the Angels, the Cubs, the one team, unless something's changed. I think the only team in this slate that have a 5 total, just barely a 5-team total, locked in for 9 against Tyler Anderson. And that Angels bullpen, no Cubs let up just yet. We're not projecting Tucker to be in there. Did he have a setback that I missed? I know he's dealing with that the finger thing, the arm thing, the fracture, but I thought that was mostly fine now. I know he stunk for a while, but I don't know why he's still 5-4 on DK. The dude has not homered since July 19th, so over a month. I don't get when some of these guys' prices just never come down. But yeah, Cubs tonight, we're projecting him not to play, but we'll see. It is a lefty starting there, but Anderson, that if you're just benching him, it's left on left, that seems weird because that's not something you do with Tucker, but okay. All right, Angels, Cubs, what do you got?
Is he not in the lineup? Did that just come? I'm sorry, I was looking at something.
Did it just come out? No, I've not seen the lineup just yet. We're not projecting him in for what it's worth. And then,
okay. They had said they're going to just try and give him some time.
But he came back, and then he needs more time? Okay, that's what I was asking. Because he came back from on the 21st, and he wasn't good in one game.
It kind of, like, there was, like, some, he was dealing with hand issues and stuff like that. But, like, the vibe I got was similar to what Derek Ringering said in chat. It seemed more of, like, a bit of like a mental reset break than a physical thing. Yeah. It's like take some time, get your mind right kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Cubs and Angels. What do you got?
I'm going to have Cubs up in tier 1. Like you said, only team up above a 5 implied run total tonight. I really like this spot against the left-handed pitcher who sucks against left-handed bats. And so they got a bunch of righties who hit lefties really well. And then they got a bunch of lefties like Pete Crow Armstrong, Dean, who strikes out a ton, but still has power against left-handed bats or left-handed pitchers, as is evident by his plus 200 ISO. So it's a great spot against Tyler Anderson. I got the Cubs up in tier 1. I actually really like the Angels today as well against Ben Brown. He's had a low pitch count, but he's also been horrible. So I got the Angels up in tier 2. I'm a big fan of them today.
All right. Moving along here. 3 games to go.
Not gonna fight me on PCA.
I mean, we don't have time. I know what you were doing. You're having some fun with that. And, I don't dislike PCA. It's a fun little bit. And I pointed out in the past, and I'm not taking victory laps, but I was saying he was striking out way too much and not walking enough. And his numbers had to go down, and they did. That's just how, and he chases too much, and he's not been good left on left. He's still not a complete project. I would buy some stock in PCA.
Has not been good at making contact left on left.
Yeah.
He's been very good for power for left on left.
I mean, the WOBA 269 is terrible. The ISO 215 is pretty good. That's good. But again, it's few and far between in his 161 at bats versus lefties this year. However, and you kind of alluded to it, Tyler Anderson is really bad versus lefties. So I do like that. I do like that counterpoint. And that's why I was kind of letting it go because, over a 200 ISO, almost a 300 ISO versus lefties this year, which is astronomical, and a WOBA at 417, which is why, left on left Kyle Tucker, this is the pitcher you want him to face left on left, but whatever. Maybe he still cracks the lineup. We don't have it just yet. We shall scoot along. 2 more games. Ohtani, by the way, officially in the Dodgers lineup. Ohtani bets Smith, Freeman, Teoscar, Conforto, Pajes, Freeland, and Kennedy just weasels his way into the lineup every single day. I don't know why. They insist on playing Kennedy. I know Muncie's out. They're facing Yu Darvish. 8 total. The Dodgers are favored. Blake Snell on the other side. You got to figure it's going to be a sellout crowd. It's going to be raucous with San Diego versus the Dodgers. Probably a tight game. Probably see some really good bullpen stuff, which is why I don't really love the offenses here. Tell me otherwise.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't really disagree. I'm not a big fan of the Cincinnati side in particular. I'm going to put Cincinnati in tier 4. I don't mind Arizona, though, but mostly as a mini stack, so I'm going to put him in No Country for Old Men.
Okay, last game on the board. But I did want to note, if you're grinding college football, I did see Chop and the boys. They put up a college football video that just dropped today. There's some college football starting tomorrow. They're talking about the DFS slate going forward. Of course, great content here for college football, if that is your thing. So check out the RotoGrinders YouTube page. Like it, subscribe it, turn on notifications so when the college football stuff goes live. Of course, NFL stuff, it is right around the corner. We're talking about NFL in less than 2 weeks. The season officially kicks off not next Thursday, but the previous Thursday, the following Thursday, 13 days away if you're counting. A's are in Seattle. It's Brian Wu against Luis Morales. Wu, one of the bigger favorites here on the slate as far as pitchers, one of the more popular pitchers, protected by that ballpark to some degree. The Athletics, a massive negative ballpark shift going from Sacramento, parts unknown, into Seattle. So, lots of power there up top with Kurtz and Langoliers and Rooker and Soderstrom. Kind of falls off of there at the end. Is this Jacob Wilson's first game in a while? Did I miss him coming back, or is this his first game back tonight? I see Jacob Wilson's in the lineup, so good for him. Not a big power guy, but a big contact guy. So he's kind of annoying. I don't like him in there because, let's see, what is his strikeout rate for this season? I'll throw it to you. But now I don't like that for Wu a little bit with Wilson being back. You tell me, where are we putting Seattle and the Athletics on the board?
I got Seattle in tier 3. They would certainly be higher if this was in the Athletic Stadium instead of Seattle Stadium. I think if it was reversed, I'd probably have Seattle in tier 1 today. But with it being there in Seattle, I got them in No Country for Old Men. I think they are a totally fine, totally solid stack, but kind of a middle of the road for me. Oakland, I was reading it. I was reading the symbol. I called it the Athletic Stadium before, but I was reading the symbol and I saw Oakland.
You got to take a shot.
I don't know. But yeah, Athletics, no, absolutely not. Spirited Away. Them and Guardians, there's no reason to play them at all.
All right, let's go ahead and recap the board. We officially crowned today's version 2 of Film Friday. We crowned that winner. You'll tell the people how the clues worked as well. Spidey bumps. Did we get the 125? We had to get 125.
We're at 132. So Wicked Pissed does get his 1 free week of RotoGrinders Premium.
Shout outs to Wicked
Or
Pissed.
hers. Or hers.
All right. So TJ, he ranked. He's watching all the classics right now. He's going back and seeing all the movies he either saw as a child or never saw, and he's rewatching them. And to be clear, he likes all these movies. I know 5 is generally like the garbage, but something's got to be in the 5 hole. He's got Interstellar. Oh, go ahead, TJ. What do you got?
I was gonna say I've watched about in this quest that I'm trying to do. At least one movie a day. I won't get there today because it's my wife's birthday, but at least one movie a day, 2 on the weekends. Trying to go through movies that, like you said, I only saw as a kid or as a teen, early 20s, at least 10 plus years since I've seen it or haven't seen it all. And I'm at about, I think 11 in the past 7 days. And my favorite of the group I've watched so far, Interstellar. Number 2, Good Will Hunting. Number 3, No Country for Old Men. Inglourious Bastards in 4 I don't dislike it. I got it at like a 9 out of 10, but just I haven't seen a bad movie in the last week. And then bottom, I put Spirited Away, Miyazaki film, Studio Ghibli film. They typically are like people have been telling me it's incredible. It's like top tier Miyazaki, and it fell a little bit short. It fell a little bit short for me. Still a 7.5 or 8, but fell a little short.
Looks like Assad is now pitching for the Cubs. Javier Assad and not Ben Brown. So
Brown had only been they've been capping him to about 50 pitches. So I'm kind of wondering if this is a situation where it's both of them today.
Piggyback? Yeah.
Yeah.
How much did Assad throw last time out? Well, this is something that Crunch Time can figure out. They'll be coming out here momentarily. So the tier recap. Interstellar has 2 teams. It's the Rays and the Cubs. Tier 2 is Good Will Hunting. You got the Yankees, which seems sacrilege. The Yankees and Good Will Hunting. They don't like that. Houston, White Sox, Angels. No Country for Old Men's got Baltimore, Minnesota, Texas, Milwaukee, Arizona, Seattle, Inglourious Bastards, Detroit, Toronto, Atlanta, the Mets, the Giants, the Reds, and all the way at the bottom, Spirited Away. It is Boston, Kansas City, the Marlins, Cleveland, and the Athletics. Do you have any more Spidey Bombs to give away before we seamlessly transition to Crunch Time?
Well, I'm still here. I'll be behind the scenes for Crunch Time. So 3rd Spidey Bomb coming at 150 likes. We got Matt Wallner so far, Brandon Lau number 2, and 3rd one coming at 150 for Film Friday. Of course, the first one was 12 Angry Men, which got binked on Clue 1, New York by Dunk 101. So we ran it back. If we get 125 likes, then we'll do a second Film Friday, give away another free week of RotoGrinders Premium. And so we did. And so clue number 1, Dad. It's because right at the beginning of the movie, when we got the flashback to her wedding, she calls Bill her dad. Number 2 is Snake, because the snake kills somebody in the movie and she's called the Black Mamba. Why did you pick Palm, Dean?
Because the 5-finger palm punch, that's
what I was thinking.
I don't. Yeah. Sorry,
and
I was
then
distracted.
Sword, because it's a big deal that she's got her new special sword and she's a samurai. And then 5, Wedding, because the whole movie happens because a wedding got blown up. What is the movie? It is Kill Bill Volume 2, because this was Film Friday Volume 2. And the 2 Kill Bill movies are the 2 most recent ones I have watched in this quest of mine.
How incredible are those? Those are pretty spectacular.
Sorry, I'll leave that to you. That's your thing.
By the way, I wanted to correct myself. It is the 5-point palm exploding heart technique, if you want to get all technical. I did want to get that correct. But all right, now that we got that out of the way, Crunch Time is knocking on the door. We got Dave Potts, Cheeseisgood, Chief Meteorologist Kevin Roth, and we have the beast of the night. It's Beermakersfan. Let's do it. Crunch Time right now. What's up, boys? Roth, how's everything?
Good. Fun list. TJ, I love this TJ checking off the classics thing. That seems fun.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. There's like one like Spirited Away, for example. It was like, maybe not really for me, didn't really love it, but my last week has been Boogie Nights, Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, Inglourious Bastards, Howl's Moving Castle, which is another Miyazaki one, Godzilla -1, No Country for Old Men, Spirited Away, Interstellar, Good Will Hunting.
All great movies. Yeah, I love them all. Yeah.
I don't know which is my favorite of that group. It's either Boogie Nights or Good Will Hunting, but those are 2 of my top 5 all time. But TJ having himself a good time. Beer, Dave, any thoughts here?
My unrelated thought, basically, just we could talk about this, me and Dean off screen. I watched Ballad of Wallace Island, as you.
Oh, what'd you think of it?
I loved it. Like, it's clearly like it's got to be a very niche audience, like you said. It would take just a person like me to love it. Yeah, I thought it was great. It had some, like, I don't even know if I'd call it a comedy. It had some funny moments, but it had some, like, if you're really watching for it, some really deep moment, like brief but deep, and I loved it. Yeah,
it's a quiet movie. It's a little movie,
Yeah.
I would call it, but it's a sweet little movie. It's got dad jokes in it. It's on Peacock.
Yeah.
The Ballad of Wallace Island. I recommend it to you in the old DMs, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'm not even a folk person. You know, the folk is also something that's a through line. But if you're looking for a movie, a nice, sweet, funny, little movie. There's like 6 people in the whole movie, maybe, give or take.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people. The Ballad of Wallace Island. You got anything, Beer, before myself and TJ get out of here?
Hey, I got too many kids, too much travel sports. So, what is a movie?
What was the last movie you can
I
recall?
can't even answer that unless
Oh,
it was
boy.
a kid's cartoon movie. But actually, like, go to the theater and watch a movie, I got nothing for you. So I got
Beer,
I got
if you
catching up
ever,
to
if,
do, like,
oh my
TJ.
gosh, Kevin, I just saw your chat. K-pop Demon Hunter is such a good movie. So damn good. What a pleasant
Yeah.
surprise.
I hate to admit, but I really did like it. Yeah.
It's getting re-released in theaters. People should go watch that in theaters. But Beer, if you ever need a list of like kids content that is age appropriate but won't make you want to blow your brains out and just like actually be like, wow, this is kind of fun, fire me a DM. I got you covered.
Please, because most of the stuff they watch makes you want to do exactly that. So any help appreciated.
All right, my time's up. TJ is going to go behind the glass and produce the rest of the way. You got Dave Potts, you got Kevin Roth, you have Beermakersfan. It is crunch time. It's starting right now. Roth, it's all yours.
Good stuff. As always, welcome to it, ladies and gents. You know the drill. We call it CT. It's crunch time. It's 2 of the sharpest minds in the biz. Cheese is good. Dave Potts in the house. What up, Cheese?
Not too much. Happy Friday. Big old slate. Pretty wide open. So I like it.
Yeah, got the OGs on for the big Friday slate. I like that. The beer cheese show, as we like to call it. Half of that is, of course, our guy Beer, bringing in the beast of the night, the 6-pack, bellying up to the fantasy bar. What's up, Beer? How are you?
Look at that, Roth. You got it all down. You see, Roth, Dean, just based on that. So
Look, I just love, I don't know what it is, man. Anytime I see that 6-pack video, whether it's on, Instagram or Twitter, wherever it is, I always watch it. I always enjoy it. So yes, I do have all your sayings like locked in.
I mean, it's only been about 15 years, right? So by now they're catching on. But good Friday night, hanging here with the boys, talking baseball, football, right around the corner as
Right
well.
there, man.
So it's a great time to be. I know Cheese is not as excited as I am probably, but this is a great time on the sports calendar.
And since you got the hat on, about a week ago, we were saying, who would have thought Brewers first team to 70 wins? Now officially first team to 80 wins. So couple more weeks, we'll talk about the first team to 90, and so
we hope so.
We will.
My worry is, are they peaking too early?
Definitely, they have zero chance of winning the playoffs.
Exactly,
Literally
that's
zero.
kind of where I'm at.
But
and Roth is new on the bandwagon here, so we don't want to.
Yeah, I was excited. I thought my team, my new
ride it for a while. They're going to do nothing in the playoffs, but it's a great run and enjoy it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will certainly see what happens. We mentioned got a lot going on. We got some football. We'll talk about that. And I believe week 1 or week 0 rather of college football starts tomorrow as well, right, Pierre?
Correct.
Man, yeah, really do have all kinds of things.
Are you a Wisconsin fan, Beer? University of?
Yep, I'm loyal to all my teams. So live in Michigan now. Just that's where my wife is from, but still Brewers, Bucks, Badgers, Packers. So. And the Badgers, it's been a rough couple years, so we'll see.
We shall indeed. Boys, we got to talk about some baseball. You mentioned it's a big slate. We've got a lot going on, and we have some minor weather concerns. There's a low chance of a delay in Atlanta. There's an even lower chance of a delay in Tampa, but either of those games could potentially see a delay. I don't think in either of them I would change anything about what my current lineup is. I don't know. It feels like maybe people want pitchers in Atlanta. Cheese, is that a thing? No.
I mean, a couple people are playing a GPP pitcher, but like,
okay, then that's fine. That's fine.
Not,
then we're fine. Just do whatever you were going to do. Just making sure it wasn't like the chalkiest guy on the slate or anything.
No, it's a GPP like long shot.
Okay. Well, then I think we're not quite all clear, but we're clear enough to just play whatever you were going to do. And I will kick it to you guys for a little breakdown of the slate. Who wants to go first? Who wants to talk pitcher first?
Okay, fine.
All right.
I was just playing chicken.
He was just going to sit there literally forever.
Yeah.
Going to have to call on you?
We're going to run out of time. So all right.
Make a decision, Roth.
Okay. So like I said, the slate is pretty wide open on all sides, and you can kind of do anything you want with this year. You can play 2 expensive pitchers. You can play 2 cheap-ish pitchers. I'm actually going to start on FanDuel because I think it's a lot easier. Personally, I only have 4 pitchers in my pool on FanDuel. The spend ups, Brian Wu and Nathan Eovaldi. I prefer Eovaldi. I think more people probably prefer Wu, which makes me like Eovaldi better. But they're both great. Both should be good. It's just a matter of like they're not ever likely to put up you can't possibly win without that score kind of score. So for that reason, I have more Max Fried and Zebby Matthews on FanDuel. Max Fried is an interesting case. He's had a horrendous last month and kind of just a mediocre last like month and a half. It does not look to me like anything is wrong with him. Like I don't see any red flags. I think it's just been one of those random bad stretches where batted balls go against him. But he's kind of like Wu and Eovaldi. Even if he's fine, he's still not like ever likely to break a slate with upside. But he's so much cheaper that I would be fine with playing Fried in cash games. And then Zebby Matthews is more of the upside with more risk pitcher who's 8,300. I'm playing Zebby. There's a lot of upside. He is going to keep giving up home runs, and it's kind of a little bit more of a wild card, but I think he's underpriced. And that's my entire FanDuel pool. You could do bigger if you want, but that's it for me. DraftKings, it gets a lot more interesting because we need 2 of these guys. You can't really get, well, actually, that's not even true that you can't get. I do have some Wu Eovaldi lineups because there's some cheap stacks and some cheap bats. But so Wu, Eovaldi, Fried, kind of the same thing up top. For me, Blake Snell is kind of just a leftover deeper MME play. He does have ceiling in any matchup, but I don't love it tonight. I'm playing a ton of Zebby Matthews on DraftKings. Same thing as on FanDuel. There is risk here. He's a guy who's going to give up home runs, but he has the highest strikeout on the whole slate, like by a lot, and he's almost $3,000 cheaper than the aces. So to me, he's the play. I also like Ryan Nelson and Jose Quintana in the mid-tier. They're kind of more of that just boring but should be fine kind of pitcher, and they're cheap. The pitcher in the Atlanta game that you were wondering about, Roth, is Nolan McLean, who's a rookie who does have upside. He probably has – I think he's more of like a Blake Snell type pitcher where he could strike out 10 batters and he could walk 6 batters in the first inning. So I think if you wanted to just YOLO a lineup in like the $10 $50K to first, play Snell and McLean, and maybe you get 20 strikeouts at low ownership. I'm not playing him. I think he's overpriced for a guy who's probably just going to walk too many guys, but he's playable. On the very cheap side, I'm still throwing some darts at Cade Povich. Like, he's just a good pitcher. Like, he's better than a 6K pitcher. He's kind of in that Zebby Matthews realm of there's obvious risk. As much as I don't like Houston, they are good against lefties. He struck out 10 of them last week, which was a weird outlier. But I think Povich for cheap is pretty good in that risk-reward category.
Yeah. Okay. Beer, you on that Zebby train?
Oh, yeah. Always on that Zebby train. Zebby's like the perfect GPP play, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we want high upside. He's not safe, so some people don't want to go that route. He's semi-cheap, in that mid-range. So he checks all the boxes. It never feels safe, secure, but that's what a tournament is all about, taking risks on guys with upside. So absolutely. Roth, I love interacting with the people during these shows. So there was a comment asking if I was taking beard vitamins, which I don't know if that's a joke. Is that a real thing? I've never heard of beard vitamins, but to put that to bed, no. It's just it is what it is. So
It was a fair question. It is
it
majestic.
And if that exists, let me know. Maybe we could take a few of them and really get this baby going. But I'm pretty much in lockstep here with Cheese. I think at the top it's a decision on Woo and Eovaldi. Woo, this is his 4th time against the A's. Is one of my concerns, but he's been in good form. 26 strikeouts over the last 3 starts. So that ballpark, we know, great pitchers park. So it's a 1A, 1B with him and Eovaldi. I think cash games, Woo is probably a little bit safer. In tournaments, Eovaldi is going to be lower owned. And he's just been pitching so well. We had that one start against Arizona, didn't go so well, but 20 or more in 7 of 8 starts is pretty solid. In Cleveland, like we talk about all the time, it's Jose Ramirez, and you're not really worried about anything else. You look at the numbers, and they're towards the bottom of almost every category against right-handed pitching. So those two at the top. Fried, like she said, is an interesting case because the last couple actually 4 of his last 5, he's been under 11 DraftKings points, but solid strikeout projection around 6.5. Last start against Boston, 9 strikeouts. So, are we going to get the good Max Fried, the bad Max Fried? So I think he carries a little bit more risk than Woo and Eovaldi. Snell, tough spot for him against this team. They just don't strike out a lot. I love the Zebby call. My cheap play is going to be Aaron Savale. He has turned it up a little bit in the strikeout department, home runs. Always a concern with this guy, but if he can get you 6-7 strikeouts, and I think he can in this matchup, he's a nice value play. I wanted to ask Cheese because he didn't bring him up. I see him being brought up in the chat, and I'm not even sure what to do about Shane Bieber. So it's been a while. We got a little bit last year, but we're basically talking about a guy that's been gone for 2 years. So, Cheese, any quick thoughts on Bieber? Because I can see the upside. I can also see maybe he doesn't get enough pitches. Maybe he gets blown up here. I'm targeting him a little bit with bats, but are you doing anything with Bieber tonight?
I'm not worried about I think he's going to be fine. I just think they overprice him for the first start back. And the workload should be fine. He threw 90 in his last rehab start. It's just that the last time he was really good was 2022. We don't even know how good he is.
He's
for
great.
him to be 9K in the first
pitcher
start.
in the league.
Oh boy.
What did he say?
He said he's going to be the best pitcher in the league.
Yeah. I'm not playing him tonight.
Not tonight, but
so I would say so. You have 100% exposure then, right?
He'll be the best Canadian.
He's going to be
Canadian
the best
starter tonight. Yeah. Long term being in a couple weeks. I like Bieber. I mean, it's big for Toronto to have him. I think they overshot his salary for the first start.
Yeah. Beer, any other pitchers you want to bring up?
No, I think you got a nice slew of options here where you can go mid-range and cheaper, with some of the guys we talked about, Zebby probably being my favorite, again, Savale, a solid value, or you can go, double spend with 2 of Woo, Fried, and Eovaldi, and I think there's enough value bats to make that happen tonight.
And what do you think the cash game pairing is? Our guy Zakakao is asking.
I think Woo is definitely in there, and SP2, I don't think Zebby feels great as a cash game option. So I think a lot of people probably slide Fried in there and save on some bats. So Woo and Fried, I would say.
Yeah. Cheese, you got another thought there? Woo, Fried?
Yeah. Personally, I would play Zebby, but I think there's so many cheap bats. I would tell someone else to play Woo, Eovaldi. Let's go all the way up, get a bunch of those cheap bats.
Yeah, and TJ kind of just bringing up those 4 names. It's 2 of Woo, Eovaldi, Fried, and Zebby.
And those are the 4 that I said. That's my entire pool on FanDuel in any format. And so moving to DK too on cash, that's the group.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Let's talk about the bats and the stacks. Beer, you can lead us off there. Who we stacking up tonight?
A lot of stacks are viable tonight, so we'll give you the 6-pack. As always, the stacks I really like. I know Cheese likes Povich, but I really like the spot for the Astros tonight. They are my number 1. I like the Orioles on the other side of that game. Tigers, number 3, who I don't think are going to get a ton of ownership tonight. Really like the Cubs as well. Some of their prices we'll get to. Yankees in the 5 spot, and my Brewers are another team I really like, who I don't think is going to get a bunch of ownership. As my 6th stack tonight.
Very good. Cheese, your favorites.
Yeah, it's so spread out. And other than, there's a couple individual bats here and there. but I think there's essentially no chalk. Like, I don't think you even need to worry about ownership. It's so spread out. Like, maybe a little bit with Tampa and Houston with a Cubs bats here and there, but like essentially you just play who you want to play. I have a slight preference for Yankees and then Cubs, Rays, Twins, and everyone. I mean, it's like a 15-team pool for me up top. So I'm going to stop there, and then we'll talk about more individual names. But Yankees are first, Cubs and Rays are next.
Okay. Speaking of individual names, you might notice at the bottom of the screen, you got your Spidey Bomb scrolling. Wallner plus 350. Brandon Lau. I hope I got that right.
You got it.
Yes. And Ben Rice at plus 400. If you want to force Spidey Bomb, it's easy. All you got to do is hit the thumbs up at 200 likes. You get a fourth, their home run picks, in case you couldn't tell. Make sure you smash that like button for us. It's free content, and you're getting a little something out of it as well. Let's go around the horn, talk position by position. Cheese, start us off at the old catcher spot.
Okay. Nobody is going to play Cal Raleigh or the Mariners. I like him. I like them more as a stack, and I don't think this is like he's not a top spin up on the slate. So this is not you got to go do what you got to do to play Cal Raleigh. But I do like him when no one's going to play him. But for me, Ben Rice is the guy I have the most of, followed kind of closely by Carson Kelly. Yainer Diaz is my favorite Houston bat. And then when I need salary, I'm playing the guy who's legally required to do his best work for me with Hunter Fiducia.
Yeah, he is fiduciarily required to do so. Beer, your thoughts at catcher?
I think it's a great spot to save some money. I mean, I have no issues if you're spending up on some of the premium guys, Raleigh, Contreras with Milwaukee. I really like Rice, but there's four guys I can make a case for under 4,000. Yainer Diaz being my favorite, Carson Kelly right there, Kyle Teal at 3,700, and Alejandro Kirk at 3,300. These are all guys cheap, hitting in the heart of the order. So again, no issue with spending up, but if I'm picking one out of that group, it's definitely Yainer Diaz tonight at 3,900.
Take me to first base, Beer.
I mean, Shohei, Freeman are probably my favorites. I think this is a slate where you can get Shohei in there. I wouldn't say easily, but easier than most slates. So Cheese brought up Ben Rice, a catcher. I'll add him here at first base. I like this spot against Bello. Alonso, as long as that weather holds off, and you don't seem to be too concerned about that one, but always loved him against lefties. And then I think there's decent value here as well. Guys like Mountcastle, Christian Walker, Andrew Vaughn, all pretty cheap with that power upside you're looking for.
Cheese, first base.
I am unpleased with the amount of Shohei Ohtani I have because it's 0. I mean, that's never great. It's just, to me, that's the game that doesn't exist tonight. The Dodgers Padres. Like, when a game is like a playoff game, like, and we saw it with the Cubs Brewers too, like, it's not good for DFS, especially when you get a team with an elite bullpen like the Padres. Like, I just let them play an amazing baseball game and I'll watch it because it'll be great. But I don't like, that's just not where I'm going for high salaries tonight. I'm fine with Alonso as well, but this is not a priority spend up position for me. The cheap stuff, like the very cheap stuff, has boomer bust upside. I like Bob Seymour for the Rays. I like Rowdy Tellez. I like Tristan Gray. I like Pavin Smith. Andrew Vaughn. I think cheap is kind of the way to go here.
Okay. Let's go to second base. By the way, I have to add maybe slight increased chance of seeing either a late start or an early delay in Atlanta. Either way, it would be brief. So I don't think it's, I don't think it's a lock, first off, and I don't think it's anything all that alarming, but just watching this little shower that's kind of pushing towards Atlanta that might end up going over the ballpark. But I don't think it really changes anything for our needs. Hey, the least we could do is show some appreciation by hitting the like button. It takes less than 2 seconds. That's right. Flying Armbar has a good point. There are roughly 558,000 people watching, and there are 171 likes. Certainly, we can get a few more than that. So hit the thumbs up for us. Cheese, what do you do?
558,000 people.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is correct. I checked it. Yeah,
That's if you combine Twitter and YouTube, to be clear.
Got it.
Yeah.
right.
Got it.
Cheese, second base.
Okay, so the first thing I want to note is a pretty drastic difference between FanDuel and DraftKings with Brandon Lau. I think Lau for 3,100 on FanDuel is a very chalky, fantastic play. On DraftKings, Lau, Marte, and Jazz Chisholm and Altuve are all $5,000 players. There, I slightly prefer Jazz and Marte over Lau, but I like all three of them. That kind of makes it a spend up position for me, which is kind of why I more like going cheap at first, so I can get one of these good second basemen. And I more like legitimately like the cheap plays at first, where the cheap plays at second, I feel like I'm hunting. I think assuming Nico Horner's at the top of the lineup, I think he's fine and probably my favorite cheap-ish play. Other than that, like, it's just in a stack for me. Like Edward Julian, maybe spend up at second. That's my advice here.
Yeah. Beer, your thoughts a second?
I agree. Pretty limited pool for me here. So the thing about spending or going cheap at first base, you get a lot more power upside than when you punt at second base generally. So just the way tonight's build works. But Altuve, probably my favorite here. I really like Houston, as I mentioned, been terrorizing left-handed pitching this season. Ketel Marte, generally always in my pool. So those are probably my two favorite spends. Mid-range, I like Jackson Holiday. Orioles, another team I really like tonight. And then I agree on Nico Horner. So somebody asked if the Cubs lineup was out yet. That is the last one that we are waiting for. So no lineup yet, but Horner, probably your best value here at 3,400.
Let's go to third, Beer.
Pretty limited here as well. Not a lot of guys I love. So high end, I'm going Junior Caminero against Michaelis. Mid-range, I'm going Barger. I don't know if we ever figured out the pronunciation with him. Barger. That's right. The French call it Barger. So those are probably my two favorites. I think there's decent value here with Nolan Gorman and Carlos Correa against a lefty, another guy that's generally in my pool. And he's been good since going back to Houston.
Okay. Cheese, your thoughts at third?
Yeah, I think Caminero is close to my highest owned batter. He might be. I love him. I do like Barger. Machado is the one bat I have just a very slight amount of in that game, but like slight, like 1 or 2%. It's kind of like second, where the cheap stuff, like you're very much just punting and hoping the guy scores a couple runs if his team does well. So I don't really like any of it. I think you could play Miguel Vargas. Like I mentioned, I love Zebby Matthews, and I'm playing a ton of him. He should still give up a home run or two at some point. Josh Young and Ryan McMahon and Royce Lewis are all like just barely over 3K on DraftKings and kind of sitting in my pool if I need someone cheap. I like Carlos Correa a little better on FanDuel, where he's 2,600.
Okay. How about shortstop, Cheese?
It's like, remember when it took like a week off and like for like a week there was like no good shortstops, and now we're just totally back to this is where it's all happening. Seager is my favorite by a fair amount, but that's not to say I don't love Bobby Witt, Francisco Lindor, Gunnar Henderson, and a super low owned Ellie De La Cruz. I am not playing like Jeremy Pena at short. If you're stacking Houston, by all means. Same thing. I'm not playing Bo Bichette unless you're stacking Toronto. Dansby Swanson, I'm not playing unless I'm stacking the Cubs. All these are good players. And like at other positions, all these guys would be like kind of high up the list. But for me, Seager is enough ahead of them unless I can spend up even more, in which case I would go Witt and then Lindor and then Ellie.
Okay. Beer, your thoughts at short?
Yeah, we are loaded up here for sure. So I think this is a good one to take advantage of some of this ownership, and making an Ellie, a Witt, a premium spend to make your lineup a little bit different. But if you can't get there, I agree. I have Corey Seager as my number one. When you look at price, you look at matchup, he's too cheap. So I take advantage of that. Gunnar Henderson, definitely in the pool as well. I do have Pena on my list. I agree. It's mainly been part of stacks with him. Bichette, I do also like, and I don't think you necessarily have to go that route, but I do like Seager better than those two guys. And value, I'm surprised he didn't bring him up, but Brooks Lee, 3,100. I don't think you want to go cheap here, though. If you do, for some reason, end up, I think he's the best value, but this is definitely a premium spot where you're going against a lot of high-end shortstops here if you go cheap. So I think Corey Seager, probably your best pick here at 4,500.
Okay. I want to get to the outfield. Did just get some news, Beer, that Otto Lopez has been scratched. I don't know if that means anything.
Whatever shall we do, Kevin? Whatever.
Well, are we going to? Is he a pitcher?
No, he's a batter that was less than 1% owned.
Okay.
If you have a Marlin stack, you might need to change it. Like,
yes, he was
that's
hitting
not
cleanup, and now he's out of there. So who you placed him with, but yeah, not a pitcher.
Okay, Beer, let's get to the outfield.
All right, I'll try not to take everybody. So a few of my favorites here. I like the Tiger stack. I really like Carpenter and Green tonight against Berger. He's had major issues with lefties. So those two guys are in a good power spot. Saya Suzuki feels way too cheap on DraftKings. So he stands out as a good value. If I'm spending, I really like Corbin Carroll tonight. Jacob Marcy has arrived on the scene. Speaking of the Marlins, against Bieber, so I like him tonight. And then some value, Jeremiah Jackson with Baltimore. Jock Peterson remains cheap, so those two guys look like pretty good values on the low end.
Okay, Cheese, your thoughts in the outfield, and I'll let the people know we're only 2 likes away, I believe, from getting our 4th Spidey bomb. So make sure you're hitting that thumbs up. Cheese.
There's good plays in every price range, so you can do it last if you want to and see what you're left with. On DraftKings, like Beer mentioned, Seiya Suzuki. I think he's probably the chalk, if there is such a thing, but I wouldn't really worry about it. To me, him and Wyatt Langford are kind of my first 2 guys in. Like if I was doing a cash game, those would be like Seager, Langford, and Suzuki would be my first 3 guys in, because someone's going to ask, what are your first 3 cash game bats? There you go. I already answered it
there you have
before
it.
it's been asked. At the high end, Judge is my favorite. Buxton is my second favorite. Carroll is my third favorite. Those are the 3. If I have money, that's where I want to go. Grisham and Bellinger I would add to the mix, along with the Cubs and the other guys that Beer mentioned. The Twins, like Wallner, Spidey Bomb Wallner, I like. Feel free to do James Outman instead of Jock Peterson here or there. They're essentially the same guy. Amazingly, Outman is even worse than Jock Peterson.
Yeah, I didn't think that was possible, but you're not wrong.
He can do it. He can pull it off. The 45% strikeouts ahead of the 40% strikeouts. Helio Ramos is the one Giants bat I've got some of. There's 1,000 players here, but I think that's kind of the highlights for me.
He doesn't really have a 45% strikeout rate, does he?
Yes. He hasn't played a lot, but that's not a made up number. Let me
that's
double check it.
Incredible.
Yesterday it was 45%.
Yeah.
Against righties, I'm sorry, 43.2 against righties this season.
Yeah, that's pretty shocking. That is about what I think I would put up right there. I could hope for a walk maybe and not strike out. Okay, very good. Let's do some home run calls. That's what the people want. We did indeed get 200 plus likes. We did get our 4th Spidey Bomb, Ketel Marte, coming in at +4 hundo. So we got 4 of those, but we need some beer bombs. That's what the people need. Beer, what do we got?
I'm laughing at this comment from John Hansa. Out, man. It's right in the name.
It's right there in the name. What we should have known it was coming.
All right, Roth, I got a +360 for you, a +625, and a +875.
Let's hear 'em.
If you want to parlay those up, a nice little payday there. But Kerry Carpenter, number 1 at +360, Jose Altuve +625, and Jacob Marcy at +875.
Very good. Cheese, you should know that Sin3 in the chat says, well, I guess I don't need to ask that question about the DK cash locks. Thank you.
Either Sin3 or Alex was going to ask that question. So there you go. Alex is usually late. He's probably still going to ask it. Be like, hey, guys, just got here. What are the cash game locks? So home runs. I knew I was something. I don't know. I don't have any numbers for you. I just have people who will hit home runs.
Okay.
High-end Corbin Carroll. Mid-tier we'll do chalky, obvious Corey Seager. And then cheap Bob Seymour.
Very good. Gentlemen, we have, 12, 13 minutes here-ish until we hit the lock. I want to make sure that people are getting the best deal in the industry. Fantasy Labs, your home for season-long fantasy football and best ball content. Get access to rankings, projections, articles, and more from award-winning experts like Sean Corner and Chris Raybon. Fantasy Labs, by the way, has an app lets you get real-time rankings, draft cheat sheets, and lineup advice on the go. You can sign up with code RG15 for $15 off. Let's get your questions in. We should have plenty of time to get to all of them. DKGPP Cheese. Who do you prefer as a one-off, Christian Walker or Yandy Diaz?
I assume. Oh no, he does me. I thought it was going to be Yainer Diaz, same team. I prefer. Well, Yandy Diaz is not playing, so if that's the question, or I'm wondering if he means Yainer Diaz because they both play for Houston. I prefer Yainer Diaz over Christian Walker. Yandy Diaz is not playing tonight. Okay,
good job. Beer. You playing Adames coming back to Milwaukee in a DKGPP?
No, there's too many other shortstops that he's way down the list. So I'm normally a narrative streak guy, but this one a little bit of a stretch.
Okay. Beer, did y'all talk about the Mets as a stack? Thoughts?
We did not. I don't think we brought them up as a stack. So this is one of the slates we talked about. I think I named 6 stacks. Cheese named 6 that were all different. So that shows you that's 12. There's probably 15, 16 viable stacks here. I want to see where they look on the ownership. I mean, not that ownership is important tonight, but I mean, they do look pretty optimal according to SimLabs. So the weather might be scaring people. So, we brought up a few bats in that lineup. I don't hate the spot for them.
Yeah. Let's see. Any knowledge, Cheese, of Jonty Garcia, min-price Red Sox outfielder?
Yes, but that's not his name. Somebody, while I'm talking, type out his name so Roth can see it. And Roth can say it for us. Like, please, somebody legitimately. I'm asking.
Oh, wait, is this the guy that they call like
with an?
It looks like Ghost with a J.
What do they call? He has a nickname that's incredible. I can't think of it now. I saw it and I was like, that is the greatest nickname I've ever seen in sports. Someone tell me what his nickname is because it blew my freaking mind. I saw this yesterday. The password. It's so good. Oh, God. It's 10 out of 10.
Anyhow, he's one of these kids who has power and is going to strike out a lot in the early going, very much like these cheap Rays guys we've been talking about. If he was facing someone other than Max Fried, and he's not like off the board because it's Max Fried, but to me, I would just wait and I would want a better matchup. But like, yes, he has definite power, and he's probably going to struggle with strikeouts for a little while.
Okay. Because Cheese, when you make passwords, I know that you just put like ice cream, but you're supposed to do random numbers and letters. It's supposed to look crazy. You get it, Cheese?
Yeah, I do get it.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Ice cream 1 is not a great password. Just letting you know, man.
Vanilla bean 3.
Right.
That's a little better.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what else we've got here. Scrolling up. Who wins, Cheese? Mets or Braves?
Mets.
How do you actually pronounce that name, by the way?
Oh, I have no idea. I haven't heard it said.
Beer, you want to give it a go? We all have to give it a go.
All right. I mean, it almost feels like Justin. I mean, the X has got to be silent. Justin, and Justin. I have no idea. I'm going to say
Johnston.
Boy, I hope it's Justin. That would be amazing.
It would be great. I want to know how they landed on this. Like, okay, let's name our kid. Like, this almost feels somebody just got on a keyboard and okay, we're good.
Oh, it is actually like it's Josty
Yes,
Nixon. It's actually
No way.
I don't think so. He could just be making that up.
No
one knows.
Justy Nixon.
We'll find out soon enough.
No
Chat's
one
leading us astray here.
Yeah, well, we can't trust chat. All right. Let's see. I want to defend my name, Alex says. I'm very much, or this is, you accused Alex of asking for the cash. I want to defend my name. I'm very much early and ahead of the class, even in the evening with @Broken Bat Wiffle Ball in Roth's city of Milwaukee. All right. P.S. Who are your 3 bats in DK cash? Nope. Already got there. Max.
It really only happened once, but like Alex would like come in and like he was like, I'm at the beach. Who are we playing today? It's like he's always doing something cool, it seems like.
Alex is living a good life.
Yeah.
3 Max on FanDuel. We rocking Freed Eovaldi and Ric Flair. Woo! Does that work for you? 3 Max? You go with those 3 different pitchers? Beer?
Yeah, good with those. Yeah. They're all in the pool.
Oh, very good. How much time do we have? Still 7 minutes. We have answered all of the questions that I see. So if you've got more questions, they can be about beer, food, or baseball, or I guess football, because beer knows what's up. Go ahead and get those questions in. Beer, FanDuel GPP, your favorite pitcher. FanDuel GPP.
Probably Freed.
Okay. Cheese, you got a different FanDuel GPP favorite pitcher?
Zebby.
Very nice. Got some people typing. Your favorite stack to win it all, Cheese. Your favorite stack was the Yankees, as I recall.
Yankees.
Yeah,
Yankees.
Beer, favorite stack to win it all?
Houston.
Okay. Home run recap. We just did it, Kevin. We
can give him a recap.
All right, Beer, go ahead.
You're tough on the people, huh?
I mean, if it's something that happened at the beginning of the show, I understand, but we did it 5 minutes ago. It's,
Maybe you just got here.
All right, fine. Beer saved you. Hey, it's me, Kevin. That's the username, not me. Beer, your home run.
Better hit the damn thumbs up button, Kevin. We're giving you
said.
a recap here. So
well said. All right, Beer, what are your favorites for a bomb?
I like Kerry Carpenter, Jose Altuve, and Jacob Marcy. Pretty good odds on Altuve and Marcy.
Okay. Cheese?
I believe I said Corbin Carroll, Corey Seager, and Bob Seymour.
FanDuel GPP, Cheese. Carson Kelly or Polanco to complete a stack, while the other would be a mini. For example, choosing Kelly would leave me with the Seattle 3-man mini.
I like Kelly.
Oh, are those 3 different people? Carson, Kelly, or Polanco?
Kelly is
Kelly is one person.
Okay. I wasn't
Polanco
sure. Sometimes I need added commas. I don't follow baseball. Anyone like the Cards today as a stack? Beer, you like the Cards?
I don't like Burleson getting scratched, so that was one of the Cardinals bats I liked. So I think there's better options tonight.
Okay. Hoosier Sang Banner says, do we know why the game is delayed in Pittsburgh? It's not weather. That's all I know. I looked at radar. It's fine. Some sort of ceremony.
It's because the Rockies against the Pirates, Antonio Senzatella versus Braxton Ashcraft, they decided not to even bother with whatever it is. Honestly, that is the worst game of all time.
No, they're out begging people to come to the game. Like, we can't start yet. There's only 8
people
anyone
here. Out here pitch?
Please.
Can anyone pitch for us?
We'll pay you to sit in the seats.
Let's see. Beer, Snell and Zebby with a Tampa 5-man and Atlanta 3-man and DK single entry. You like it?
Yeah, that seems solid.
D. Nell says, Cheese, any love for righties versus Quintana?
I mentioned Ramos. He's the only one I'm playing. You could do others in MME if you want to. I just personally have a little Ramos.
Bean Dude said, did Cheese just say Bob Seger? I think it was Big Bob Seymour, right? Not Seager.
He's mixing up Bob Seymour and Corey Seager.
Yeah. I mean, by the way, Bob Seger, my favorite artist of all time. Love that guy. So many jams. What is Beer's favorite beer? It's something local, right?
It's tough to narrow this down. It depends on the season. So For my Wisconsin peeps, I still love Spotted Cow. Only can get it in Wisconsin from New Glarus. Fantastic beer. Michigan, it's Old Nation M43, which is a New England IPA. If it's Winter Roth, the stouts, the barrel-aged stouts. So
Gotta get
shout
hardy.
out to Perrin No Rules is another Michigan. A fantastic Roth. This beer is 15%. Barrel-aged coconut. Tastes like an Almond Joy at 15%. Super sweet. So
I just can't do that. Like, I want to drink 12 beers, I can't drink
you ain't
12.
drinking 12 of those.
No. So I just stick with like the 4%, keep me in my lagers and just.
Well, when we introduce you to Milwaukee and our fandom, you'll have to try some Spotted Cow, New Glarus.
I'll give it a go, but it's going to be a rough day. I'll tell you that right now, because I don't slow down.
We'll have a good time.
Based on the percentage. Can I get Cheese's take on using Ryan Gusto in a large field DKGPP? I'm using an Angels full stack. Will I win it all? P.S. I love the OG guys. Such amazing content and insight presented amazingly. You're great too, Raw. Thanks, man. Cheese, the question was Gusto.
I don't think it's necessary at all tonight. I don't have any. Like, I do think he's a decent pitcher, at least against righties. I think it's a weird night to use him. So I don't have any.
Okay. A lot of people were waiting on the Cubs lineup, by the way. It looks like that finally dropped. Horner, Tucker, Suzuki, Turner, Kelly, Happ, PCA, Swanson, and Shaw is that Cubs lineup. Cheese, anything
So
there?
It's we were just waiting to see if Kyle Tucker would play, and we had the cheap rookie projected in instead of Tucker. So if you were playing Cassie instead of Tucker, you're gonna have to rework everything with the wildly different salaries.
Gotcha. Okay. Cheese. Scott says just J Lau in a stack, or do I one off Wallner?
I mean, I do like Wallner better than Lau, but that's Josh Lowe. Sorry. Brandon is the Lau, Josh is the Lowe, and they're hitting back to back in the lineup. And if it's a full stack, though, you're supposed to play Lowe. Like, they're close enough that if that's the full stack, just go with Josh.
I don't want to like go to jail for murder, but I might just kill one of the two of them so that I never have to deal with that again. Is that
they got more waiting in the list?
There's more, Roth.
At
least there's not more hitting back to back on the same team.
Yeah, I could figure it out if there was only two, but there's too many. Rank your favorite Rays on DK. Was it Beer was on the Rays, right?
I think Cheese was a little bit higher, but for me, I really like Caminero. Probably my favorite bat. Lowe and Lau would be in the mix, and probably Simpson at the top for that stolen base upside.
Okay, very good. Scroll down, check the Discord. Less than a minute until lock. Some people giving Spotted Cow some love. Beer, they're giving you props.
It's a great beer, and they do not distribute outside of the state, so I have to have people bring it back. In fact, I just got a case dropped off the other day. So
amazing.
I don't think you're supposed to say that on the internet. They're like,
that's true. I just had someone smuggle it across state lines for me.
Yeah.
It's probably all right. FanDuel Cash, Cheese, Lindor, or Riley Green?
Well, that's a really, really close one. I think I would Lindor in cash, but I like them about the same.
Okay. We have hit the lock. Apparently, these are all real college football player names. I've heard of a few of these, but some are new to me. Kool-Aid McKinstry. That's a good one. This one is new. Pig Cage. Who on earth named their child Pig Cage? General Booty, which is just so good. DeColdest Crawford. Love that. Rocky Beers, that's new to me. I'm down with Rocky Beers, and then good old Barcavius Mingo as well. Hey, we're gonna end it on that. My kids are barging in; they know that it's time, so we're gonna clear on out for Beer and for Cheese and for our wonderful production crew, always working hard behind the scenes, guys. We appreciate you, we love you, and we will catch you tomorrow. You have been crunched.